I'm Rafael Villegas, lead concept artist on Gangs of Sherwood. As a concept artist, I create the characters, environments, and items based on the vision of the game's artistic director and production director.
My name is Andrea Di Stefano. I'm the game director on Gangs of Sherwood.
Hey guys, my name is Fan Panzervelo. I'm the game designer for Gangs of Sherwood. We created a different range of enemies for the game. We have weaker enemies who alone are basically punching bags for the player, but become a huge threat the larger they are in numbers. But then on the other side, we have the elite enemies who they themselves pose a huge threat onto the player team. We have different roles for the enemies. For example, we have the priority targets. A good example of that is the flag bearer, who left alone will buff his allies around him. And then on the other side, we have base breakers. A good example of that is the berserker, who constantly tries to jump in on the players and try to interrupt their current combos. And of course, we wouldn't be an action game if we didn't have bosses.
In terms of categories, there's a wide range. We have the lightest units, we have ranged units, there are semi-bosses, and the main bosses that have their own arenas. The distinction is fairly obvious. We differentiate between them using size, color schemes, and the way armies are portrayed, because each boss is like a military leader with their own army. So there are associated colors and uniforms. All of this came out of the creation process relatively naturally.
We really tried giving unique attributes to each of our enemies. For example, one of my favorites is the captain, who leads a personal squad of dragoon enemies. The captain can give orders to his dragoon enemies to specifically target and give out unique attacks to one specific player. But then we have, for example, the shield puncher, who has a giant indestructible shield that the player cannot break, and the player must trick the shield puncher to expose his back so that the player can actually defeat him.
For armor, we decided to go with animal-styled armor for some of the elite units. This wasn't random. They have a direct connection with English coats of arms. We wanted to go a bit further than just banners and color schemes. We even used sculpture to make the enemies more epic. So we end up with a complete representation of Richard the Lionheart, of course, and the Nottingham Stag.
As you progress throughout the adventure, you'll meet several enemy types. Some of them are regular soldiers, while others, they're designed to be scary. They're dangerous. They can jump from one side to the arena to the other in a blink. Some of them are inspired by animals. Some of them require energy. Some of them can handle your whole group in one blow. And of course, there's very impressive bosses.
But we want more!